Before we discuss the question and answers relating to the chapter The Rat Trap by Selma Lagerhoff, let us see the main points of the chapter. Once upon a time, there was a man who went around selling rat traps. It was not a profitable business. Sometimes he had to resort to begging and petty thievery to survive. His clothes were in rags, his cheeks were sunken, he had hungry eyes. He considered that the whole world around him was nothing but a big rat trap. All riches and joys are just baits. One day he knocked at the door of a cottage to take night shelter there. A lonely old man offered him shelter and supper. They paid majolias. The old man got up and went to the window. He took down a leather pouch hanging on a nail and stuffed 3 wrinkled 10 kroner notes in it. The next morning, both of them left the cottage at the same time. But the peddler came back after half an hour. He went to the window and smashed the pane. He took out the 30 kroners from the pouch and went away. He turned off the road into the forest to avoid being noticed. He was trapped inside the forest. He was not able to come out. It seemed to be impassable. It was late in December. Darkness had already spread its wings over the forest. Finally, he sank down on the ground, tired to death. All of a sudden, he heard the thumping sound of hammer strokes coming from an iron mill. He gathered all his strength and dragged himself to the mill. He entered the forge and stood close to the furnace to warm himself. The ironmaster came on his usual nightly rounds of inspection. He walked close to the peddler. He asked, "But of course it's you, Niels Olaf. How do you look?" He mistook him for his old comrade. The peddler had never seen the ironmaster. He did not know even his name. The peddler said nothing. He hoped some kroners from the ironmaster. The ironmaster invited the peddler to the manor house. The peddler thought that he was throwing himself voluntarily into a lion's death, so he refused to go. After half an hour, the ironmaster's daughter came to the forge to persuade him. She was Edla Wilmanson. She was so kind and friendly that the peddler felt confident in her. The next day was Christmas Eve. The ironmaster thought that he was receiving his old regimental captain. The peddler was given a bath. A servant cut his hair and shaved him. He was dressed in a suit that belonged to the ironmaster. The ironmaster saw the peddler standing before him in broad daylight. Soon he realized his mistake. He could not be his old acquaintance. He was just a rat trap peddler. He became very angry. The peddler replied that he had never pretended to be his acquaintance. He only begged him to be allowed to stay in the forge. He never tried to deceive anybody. He was ready to put on his rags again and go away. The ironmaster did not relent. He asked the peddler to get out of there as fast as he could. But the ironmaster's daughter clearly told her father that the guest would stay with them. She wanted the peddler to enjoy a day of peace with them. In the evening, he was served Christmas fish and porridge. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter went to the church for Christmas service. There, they heard a startling news. An old crofter had been robbed by a man selling rat traps. They returned home. The peddler must have run away with their money and silver. The ironmaster asked the valet if the peddler was still there. He had heard at the church that the man was a thief. The man had gone but not taken anything with him at all. On the contrary, he had left behind a little package for Miss Williamson. The young girl opened the package. She found a small rat trap and in it 3 wrinkled 10 kroner notes. There was a letter, too, for Miss Williamson. The peddler did not want them to be robbed at Christmas by a thief. He thanked her for her hospitality and kindness shown to him. He wrote that those 3 banknotes should be given back to the old crofter. His money pouch was hanging on his window frame. It was also written that the rat trap was a Christmas present from a rat. He would have been caught in the world's rat trap if he would not have been raised to the position of a captain. So, dear students, there are 2 major themes in this chapter. One, that it is the kindness, goodness, and generosity that can change even the wicked or the evil of the person. Now let us discuss some questions relating to this chapter. The first question is, how did the peddler of rat traps manage to survive? The rat trap peddler made rat traps of wire and went around selling them. He got material for making them by begging in the big stores or at big farms. Since his business was not quite profitable, he would beg or steal in order to survive. Let us look at the second question. How did the peddler look? Was he different from people of his type? He was a man with a long grey beard, dirty, ragged, and with a bunch of rat traps dangling on his chest. His clothes were in rags. His cheeks were sunken, and hunger gleamed in his eyes. No, he looked like the way people of his type usually did. The next question is, what idea did he get about the world? What were its implications? He got the idea that the whole world was only a big trap. It sets baits for people exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. It offered riches and joys, shelter and food, heat and clothing as baits. It closed on the person who let himself be tempted to touch the bait. Then everything came to an end. Next question is, why did the peddler think of the world as a rat trap? What became his cherished pastime? The world had never been kind to the peddler, so he got unusual joy to think ill of the world. His pastime was to think of people he knew who had let themselves be caught in the dangerous snare of the world, and of others who were still circling around the bait. The next question is, what hospitality did the peddler with rat traps receive from the old crofter? The old crofter served the peddler hot porridge for supper and gave him tobacco for his pipe. He entertained his guests by playing cards with him. He also informed him about his prosperous past life and how his cow supported him in his old age now.